Guys, today we are going to be making Evie from the Disney Channel movie Descendants, and this is what she will look like. For today's tutorial, you will need a couple different things. You will need your rainbow loom, you will need a rainbow loom hook, and you will also need a holding hook for the parts that we place while we are not working on the loom. Today I'm going to tell you the colors of bands you will need. First off, you are going to need some of the skin tone bands, and this is from the Rainbow Loom Camouflage Pack. You will need some white bands, and these are just the regular Rainbow Loom white bands. And you will need some kind of blue bands. So I am using the Rainbow Loom navy blue bands. I might not have enough to complete this project, but for this version of the doll right here, I used the Rainbow Loom ocean blue and I thought that worked fine. So if I have to keep, just for the matter of showing you, I will use the rest of the ocean blue, but first I'm going to use the navy blue. For her skirt, you will need some gray and black bands to make it kind of two-toned. So I will be using the Rainbow Loom Sweets gray bands, and then I'll just be using the Rainbow Loom black bands as well. And then optional, you could add the medieval red bands just to give her skirt like a little red tint to it. And another optional thing you can do is for her little necklace that she has, you can use a couple of tiny little e-beads, and I just used some crazy glue to glue them on. So please gather your supplies and we will begin making Evie. So Evie is the daughter of the evil queen, and as you guys probably know, my favorite character on Once Upon a Time is the evil queen. So when I saw that Disney Channel was making a movie about like the kids of the Disney villains, I knew I had to watch it. And I really enjoyed it. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to make her sleeves. A little too zoomed in. But we are going to make her sleeves, and as you can tell, her sleeve is a little puffy. So what we're going to do is we're going to use double bands at a time. And I'm just looking at my pattern here. And we are going to start with our loom in the even position. So you want all your pin bars to be lined up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch double bands from here to here. And we are always going to be using double bands unless I say otherwise. And now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to place two bands from here to here. Just like this. So we have two bands. And now the next thing is double bands again. And what we're going to do is we are going to place double bands here, just like this. And now we can, actually what we're going to do is we are going to, so once we get it to here, what we're going to do is we're going to take the bands that are here and we're going to stretch them over to this side, just like this. So now we have two little rows. And now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to place double bands like this, just like this. So we have somewhat of a diamond shape. And now what we're going to do is we are going to place two more bands like this, and then we have two more bands like this. And now I have a couple red bands I'm going to be using. This is the medieval red for her sleeve. So whichever, you don't have to use medieval red. You could just use blue if you only have that, but just to give her sleeves a little more. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to stretch 2 more bands going this way, like this. And now we're going to switch to our medieval red. So 2 bands like this. And we now are going to use white. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch 2 bands like this. And now what we can do is we can stretch 2 more white. And we're going to go all the way over from our red to our white right here. Just like this. And now we're going to switch to our skin tone. Now what I want to do is I want to do something a little different because I did notice that Evie has some black gloves. So if you want your doll to look like this with a skin color right here, you can do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her gloves. So I'm going to put black bands right here. And then this is going to be a skin tone band. So let me just get some black bands. So you're either going to place skin tone bands here or you're going to place black, whichever you prefer, just like this. And now, regardless of whether you place the black or the skin tone, you're going to take a single band and wrap it around, just like this. So now we're going to start looping. So we're going to start down here at our capping band. And we're going to reach in through our cap band right here. And we're going to want to grab up the bottom 2 blue. And bring them to this peg. And now we're going to reach in through all this. We're going to grab the top band, see where it's going. It's going to the left. Now this next top one will be going to the left too. And now we'll reach in. We'll grab these white bands just like this. And now we can continue looping. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in just like this. And these bands are going to the left. Now we need one more going to the left. Just like this. And now what we can do is we can loop up these bands right here. We'll reach in and we'll loop up these. We'll go back into the right. And I don't really think it matters which order you loop these in, whichever you would like. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the side. We'll go here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go forwards and then we're going to go to the side. Forwards like this. And now we will go off to the side. And now what we'll do is we will grab double dark blue bands like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through with our hook. We're going to grab these bands through. And now, here is one arm. Okay, so we have made one arm together. So please pause the video, rewind, and make a second arm. And you want to place that on your holding hook. And I will see you when I'm done making my second arm. Okay, so I made both of my arms and I put them on my holding hook. So I'm just going to put that to the side. So now the next thing that we have to do before we start working on our loom is we are going to make Evie's hair. And like I said, I'm going to be using the navy blue for the top of her dress. But I think for now, I'm going to be using the ocean blue for her hair. So because I have more of those bands, so then I could save them. So whatever shade of blue you want to use for her hair is perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to use double bands, and we are going to place, let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, so we are going to place double bands on a peg just like that. And now what we're going to do is we are going to take our regular rainbow loom hook, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we are going to grab 2 bands just like this, leave them on our hook like this, and then what we want to do is we want to pull over this end like this. So now we have a string like this, and now what we want to do is we want to grab 2 more of our blue hair bands, place them on our hook like, so we would just want to grab 2 more of our blue hair bands like this, and we want to place them on our hook like this, and then what we want to do is we want to make a slip knot. So now if we stretch it out, we have a chain. That looks like this. And we want to repeat this 3 more times. So what we're going to do is we're going to just place 2 bands on any peg like this, and then we want to go through, pull our bands over into a slip knot, and it's okay that this fell off. So you have something that looks like this. Take 2 more bands on our hook like this. We want to pull these over, place these back on, and make a slip knot. And I do realize that I accidentally used a black band here, but it's okay. She could have a black streak in her hair. So we have something that looks like this. And now we're going to repeat this 2 more times. So we are just going to place 2 bands on a peg. Then we are going to grab 2 more. Like this. It's okay that it's off the loom. So I have it on my loom, I have it on my hook, I'm sorry, like this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 more of the ocean blue, pull it through like this, and we want to make a slip knot. So we're just going to pull this band like this. Just like this. And now we'll repeat 1 more time. So we will have our 2 bands on our pegs, like this. Make a slip knot, and we'll take this off. So we have something that looks like this. And now we'll take 2 more bands. And we will string them just like this. So now we have our 4 little strands of hair. And what you want to do is you just want to place them on your holding hook. So I just have placed all of the little 4 hair strands on our holding hook. And now just one more thing that we have to do before we start working purely on our loom is we are going to make Evie's skirt or dress extensions, whatever you want to call it. So I'm using the Sweets gray bands, and what I want to do is I want to make a chain of 4 on either side of my loom. So once again, we're using our double band, and we are going to be using a combination of gray and black. And then what I also did is I added medieval red in the mix, but if you don't have medieval red, you can just place a gray and a black band together. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start with 2 bands just like this placed together, and I am going to place them on my loom, and it will not matter if you put the black band first or the gray band, whichever you like. So as you can tell here, I put a medieval red and a gray band, but if you don't have the medieval red, that's perfectly fine. You would just put the black and the gray band. So we're just going to do this 4 times, just like this. And I did use a gray band as a capping band. So your loom should look like this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a gray band and we're going to go around 1, 2, 3, because these are kind of hard to use a little bit. They're not as stretchy, but if you have a stretchy one, please go around 4 times. So I'm going to do my gray and my red again on the other side of my loom, just like this. But if you don't have gray and red, you could just use gray and black. And we're going to do the same thing. Just like this. So now on both sides we have our 4 sets of bands, and on this side I just have to add my capping band. So I'm going to try to go around 3 times. And now we are just going to loop forwards. So let me just tell you what you should have on your hook just in case. So you should have the 2 dress extensions. You should have the 4 hair extensions. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have all 4 hair extensions here. And then you should have the 2 arms. So now we can start working on our rainbow loom. So please have your loom in this position, in the even position. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to be, for this whole part of the project, we are going to be using double bands. So I'm going to be using the navy blue for the top half. So when I say blue, this is the blue I'm using. And what we're going to do first is we have to lay down some skin tone bands. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of our skin tone bands and we are going to place them just like this. Now we're going to take 2 blue bands at a time and we are going to place 2 bands this way and 2 bands this way. And it does not matter which way you place them first. So just like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to continue with our navy blue and we're going to go down. And we are going to want to go down 4 times. And we're only going to want to go down 3 times in the middle. So we have this. And now in the middle, we're just going to go down 3 times. Just like this. And now on the right side, we're going to want to mimic the left side exactly the same. Just like this. And now what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to, let's see, actually we are going to go down 1 more time in the middle. So we have something that looks like this. And now what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to take 2 of our navy blue bands, place them here, and then what we're going to want to do is take 2 of the navy blue and we're going to want to place them here this way. And now we can get started on our gray bands. And we actually, I'm sorry I said gray, but we are going to be using gray and black together. So just like this, so you're going to place 1 gray band and then 1 black band, or 1 black band and 1 gray band. It does not matter which one goes on top. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go down our loom and we are going to want to do this. Just like this. And now what we can do is we're going to do another row just like this. And like I said, it does not matter which one goes on top. So now what we want to do is we are going to do this 1 more time with 3. So another row. And I think I'll switch back to my gray on top. So we want something that looks like this. And now what we want to do is we want to kind of repeat what we did before. So we're going to take a gray and a black, and we are going to place it from here to here, and then from here to here. So, just like this. And now, just like this. So we have something that looks like this. And now, we are going to continue with our gray and our black. We are going to go down 3 times with gray and black on both the left and the right side, but we will not touch the middle. So, we have this. So we're just going to go down 1, 2, 3 times here, just like this. And now on the other side, we want to repeat the same. So we want to go down 1, 2, and then 3. Just like this. So now, to make her look like she has some cute little boots on, what we're going to do is we are going to use just black bands for this part. So what we're going to do is we are going to place 2 black bands here, 2 black bands here, and now we are going to make a capping band. So we want to make a capping band on either side, so we're going to go around 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. And now we're going to go around 4 times on the other side. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like this. So you should have something that looks like this. And now we have to put on all of our little extensions and our little capping bands. So what we are going to do is we are going to start by making our capped bands. So what we're going to do is we're going to take whichever shade of blue you use. So you're going to take 1 band, and we're going to, oops, what I'm actually going to do to make it easier is I have my hook, and I'm just going to double it on the hook, and then I'm going to stretch it across. So I have my hook, double it on the hook, stretch it like this. So we have 1 here so far and 1 here. And now this is going to be the last doubled over band. So we have our hook. We'll just double it over like this. And we are going to place it across. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put on our little dress extensions. So you can take them off of your holding hook, and you can decide which side you like the best. So we're going to place 1 here, and we are going to place 1 here. Just like this. And now we are going to be using all double bands, and I think I'm going to be using double gray bands, but it does not matter if you want to use double black bands as well. So we're going to place double bands going across. And now we are going to do this one more time, just like this, and now just like this. And now the last thing that we have to do is we have to place her little arms on. So what we want to do is we want to take off one arm and we want to place it on here, on this side, just like this. And then we want to take off another arm and we want to place it on the other side, just like this. So now we can start looping. So we're going to start at the bottom here, and we're going to go in with our hook and loop up the top, going on the other side. Just like this. So now we'll go in, just like this. And now we can just kind of go like this. So now what we want to do is we want to go in through the bottom here and bring these bands up, just like this. And now we can go in through the little triangle band here. So now what we can do is we can just lift up these bands right here, and these go to the center, just like this. And these go to the center as well. And now we're going to do the same on the other side. So all of these kind of just go in the center like this. So now what we're going to do, once we've looped these, is we're going to go in through these and just grab the bottom. And now what we can do is we can pull these two bands into the center, and what we want to do is we want to hold back this band with our finger, and we just want to grab the top two bands, and these are going to the center. Now these bands are going forwards, just like that. And now the same on the other side, grab this band's going to the center, to the center, and now these are going to the side. Okay, so now we'll continue looping. So we'll just hold these back. And we will go forwards. And now we'll go into the middle. This. And we will go forwards. Like this. And now we have this side. So we'll just hold this one back. Just like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go in through, pull these forwards, pull forwards. Now what we want to do is we want to reach underneath the arms, and we want to grab these bands and pull them here, grab these bands and pull them here. So we are going to pull the arm a little bit. And we want to go in through all these bands here. And pull these to the center. Then we want to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going to tilt the loom a little bit. Going through all these. So now all of the bands should be in the center like this. And now all we have to do is grab these two skin tone bands and pull forwards. Just like this. And now we can carefully take our doll off of the loom. And be careful and do not let these bands go. So this is what the body will look like when you take it off of the loom. And right now it might look a little funny to you, but that's okay because we're going to fix it up. But the first thing we're going to do is make the head and attach it to the body. So please move your loom into the uneven configuration, the staggered configuration. And what we're going to do is we are going to start laying bands for the hair. So I use the ocean blue bands for the hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using double bands, and what I'm going to do is 2 bands here, 2 bands here, 2 bands here, just like this. And now we have 2 bands here. Two here. And now we are going to switch to our skin tone color. Just like this. And we'll place 2 here. And 2 here. And now to make the eyes, we're going to use our 2 little pony beads. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a single skin color band, and I'm kind of going to twist it. Not twist it, but I'm kind of going to squeeze it together like this. Kind of squeeze it together. And then I'm just going to slide the 2 little pony beads on. So right now we have the 2 little pony beads here. So now we'll move our loom back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it like this, and then I am going to take the top band and move it up. Oops. Just like this. And I learned that trick from our Loom's Creations. And now what we're going to do is we're going to place the hair on. So you can just kind of arrange it in any place you want, but I'm going to start here. And you want to make sure that there's 2 strands on each side. And if you want her to have more hair, oops. If you want her to have more hair, you could always add more of the little strands. And I'll make sure that these are on right before we loop. It's okay, I'll make sure they're on right before we loop. So now you want to pick which side you like best. So I think I like this side best. And all you're going to do is transfer the neck onto the head like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start looping, oops, just like this. Okay. And we're going to start looping. And I'm going to put that hair back on. Okay, so now we want to make sure that your hair is on nicely. So we're going to go in through the eye band. And loop these forwards, and this will lock the hair into place. And now we want to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going to stretch this out a little bit. And I'm going to put it back on. Okay. And now what we want to do is we want to pull back the hair, loop into the center, loop into the center, and we want to loop these into the center. So I've stuck my hook through, and now I want to grab another band, come up with all of these bands, and we want to make a slip knot. Just like this. And now we can carefully take our doll off of the loom. So once you take your doll off of the loom, this is what she's going to look like, and we are going to fix her up. So the first thing you want to do is turn her over. You want to reach through, grab this band, and pull through. Just like this. And now we want to do her skirt. So you want to turn her around, you want to go in through this band right here, then you want to go in through these bands, and now you're going to want to take a gray band like this, and you want to string these bands onto the gray band and make a slip knot. And this will be your skirt. And now we want to do the same on the other side. So we want to take the gray band, take this band, and make a little slip knot. And this is what it will look like. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to work on the arms, and we're actually kind of going to do the same thing, but we're going to use our blue bands. So we're going to go through at the bottom here, then we're going to go through the bands here, right here. And we're going to take a blue band, and we're going to want to make a slip knot. Just like this. And now on this side we're going to want to do the same thing. So we're going to want to go through the bottom blue bands here, go through the bottom blue here, so it will look like this. And you're going to want to take another blue and kind of make a slip knot for everything. So now it looks like this. You can kind of just play around with it to get it look like what you want. And now for the hair, if you want to place the hair in front of her face, what we're going to do, I'm going to get the ocean blue bands. If you want to place her hair in front of her face, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go through the mid knot there. we're kind of just going to take our hook and go through around here. And we're going to go through everything and make a slip knot. Just like this. So we can kind of do the same thing on the other side. So we're just going to grab the hair from the back. Like this. And we're going to want to make another slip knot. So now we have our doll. And if you want, you can kind of play around with her until she looks like what you want. I kind of did the hair a little bit differently on this one, so you don't really have to do anything that different. But this is what Evie looks like. And you can always add, if you have the little pony beads, not the little pony, the little E beads, you can always add them for her necklace. And you can just adjust the hair to be the way you want. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you will subscribe and show me your dolls on Instagram. And I will see you next time. So have a great day. Bye guys.